How's it going? And let's go over and check out the Bible studies. Anybody watching? 4, 6, 7, 4, 3, 7, 5, 6, 6, 4. Okay. There's been some good stuff on there, man. It's been good stuff. Yeah, so I had some kidney issues. I'm an overdoer. You tell me something's good for you, and I'll do it too much. And so salt's really good for you. And so I started doing too much salt. And then when I went to that salt room where you breathe in salt, my kidneys got overloaded. I started seeing a little blood in my urine. So I'm, backed off and just kind of been laying low and all good. Michael told me about baking soda, how it'll neutralize your pH. And then he's turned me on to another product that I can't wait to try if it all works out. I'm sure it will because it's already worked with him. But once I know more about it, but it's about pure oxygen, putting pure oxygen into your bloodstream. And I've got a natural doctor I go to over in Tampa to get my thyroid medicine. And I want to see if he does. I think he does what Michael talked about, the oxygen infusion into your blood. And what it does, it just kills off all these worms and stuff in your body, man. And Michael said you'll have bowel movements, man, that'll just stink up the whole town, not just the house, not just the neighborhood, but pretty much all of Southern California where he's at and all of Central Florida where I'm at, that you will see worms, you will see stuff that you've never seen before. And he said, get ready. So that's why we sort of shrivel up and don't make muscle. They're just feeding off our bodies. And so it'll be a big die-off process, and it's something I'm excited about. And I'm in between jobs right now, so looking forward to it. A lot going on, with the whole Russia thing and Russia. Let's get through my prep and some videos I've got uploaded and see what Michael's got in prep. Right now, Michael's more focusing on Russia right now. He's kind of just checking it out. He's not really into doing any gematria right now. So I told Michael, you go with your gut, man. Just the Lord's got this all planned out, worked out. He uses us when he needs to use us for whatever he uses us for. So if he's got Michael focused on Russia, there you go. I like it. So watching I Am Legend, there wasn't much, and it was a horrible movie. But you see the McDonald's logo with the Batman logo. So that's Ronald McDonald, the twins, and there's Batman. And we know about the Ronald and Donald, the twin Trumps. So he also drove a Mustang GT 500. I Am Legend Mustang GT 500. So it's a very pretty short, simple scene.
Look, oh my God.
Oh my goodness gracious alive. Oh my mom. So we will expand. And what do we know about 500 is Jamie told us a long time ago that that's the number for Antichrist in Strong's Concordance, G500. If you reverse, it turns into 500G. Now drop the zeros and you just have the technology number. And so let's crank it up a little bit. So it's a big scene in the movie. That's about the most action you're going to get, other than just killing zombies and stuff. It was just a really stupid movie. And yeah, I don't know. Lucy. So in I Am Legend, you did get for Lucy, which always stands for Lucifer. Just I point little things out like that, just so when you watch movies or stuff, you'll start to see more and more stuff. The horse's head in The Godfather, if Michael's into searching that, it's Khartoum. And we know the four horses of the apocalypse, and that movie kind of starts out with a horse's head. So don't know if there's any dates in gematria in that word. Right before Don Corleone gets shot, it's oranges. And there's oranges all over this movie. If there's one thing I can tell you this movie was about, it was oranges. There were oranges all throughout the movie, key scenes, and even when the Godfather dies, he puts an orange peel in his mouth. We know orange comes to 33, but I do not know what anything else would be. The number 37 was in the window just a few seconds before. Jake LaMotta, or just the 33 Jake LaMotta. Okay. As soon as Don Corleone is shot, the next scene they cut immediately to Radio City Music Hall, The Bells of St. Mary's by Leo McCartney, who was born on October 3rd. I sent that to Michael also, because you know how good he is at researching stuff like that. So there he is. And yeah, born October 3rd. Now, the whole October 2nd, October 3rd, October 4th, October 5th deal. So the 2nd to the 4th, or the 3rd to the 5th. The Jewish day begins at sundown, I think. Is that how we've researched that? So there could be some overlapping dates because of that. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. One of the biggest quotes. Sleeps with the fishes might be something to gematria, or Trump sleeps with the fishes. Don sleeps with the fishes. Donald sleeps with the fishes. Trump sleeps. I don't know. Or just sleeps with the fishes. So when Michael's at the hospital protecting his father, that name shines up on the board. Robert O. Lowry. And it's not the Irish O. Lowry, it's the O and then a period. Gematria wouldn't look at it any differently. They're both the same. Apollo. Michael Corleone married Apollo. And we know when Michael did the gematria that Michael Corleone, who was really Al Pacino from The Devil's Advocate, and he was already going to do The Devil's Advocate before or at the Godfather time, because everything about all of this, in other words, he wouldn't have gotten the Godfather role if he wasn't going to do the role about The Devil's Advocate. I mean, that's just, all these movies bounce off each other, all these roles. But anyway, Michael Corleone married, her name is Apollonia. Apollonia. Apollonia, but it's spelled Apollo, Apollonia. And it's Apollo with an NIA at the end of it. And the gematria that came with was it Michael Corleone, or I think it was Michael Corleone, or the full name or something, was off the charts. I mean, it was a name as star-studded as like Aaron Rodgers. You know how Aaron Rodgers seemed to connect to just about everything in gematria. Mo Green, deadly wound, right eye. Remember, he took the hit in his right eye. That's his full name. And I didn't know if Michael wanted the gematria of that. 37 times 6. You know how we go through those progressions of 37 through the portal, and they land on very significant days. 37 times 6 is also 222 code for Eve. So that was pretty, watch Javier Bardem protest outside Russian embassy. Of course, he represents the Antichrist. Anton Shakur from No Country for Old Men. Michael shared with me, there's the GT 500 from I Am Legend. As I'm watching Ex Machina, or what I call Ex Machina, as I'm watching it, this popped up on Instagram when I was scrolling Instagram while the movie was on. And lo and behold, it was the girl in the movie, or the woman in the movie, that gave us Deus Ex Machina, the God Machine, to Donnie Darko in the Donnie Darko movie. So what do you know? It was just one of those freaky little synchronicity moment. Somebody saying that is not Donald Trump. It certainly does not look like Donald Trump. And he sure looks a little knock-kneed there. And I've never noticed Trump to be knock-kneed before, but oh well. The Apollo Theater popped up in something I was watching. I was watching this thing on Motown. They got 253. 530. They got a 53 in the address, a 53 in the phone number, and another 53 in the phone number. That's my third marriage number progression, and 125 is in their address, and that's another third marriage number progression. My marriage number is 5, and it's 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Or my original marriage number began with 51, so then you go 52, and then the next one's 53. I was just blown away by that. I was like, what in the world? And there, of course, is the 127 that's coded all throughout 127, 120, 627, 127, 627, 127. That's coded all throughout the multiplication numbering system, year times month times day. And then me and her times each other times each year. Those numbers float right in the middle. It's going to evolve next year to 628, 128. But they still stay right down the middle. Have no idea how that works. We just know that it's something. And of course, her birthday is that October 28th birthday that is very prominent with the Gateway Arch, Bill Gates. And, a gate is a gateway. His name's Bill Gates. So we know, and of course that portal's over. The gateways are so the gateway is going to open up again on March 1st and shut down on March 25th. Then it opens back up again on October 28th and will shut on November 21st. I will also remind all of us that March 5th, transfer portals over to November 17th for the 11:17 Bible verse. So we just need to be very keen looking at a Trump event coming up anytime in this time frame, beginning really on the 27th, because you've got February 27th, February 28th. Well, if you went down the 27th, the third day is March 1st. That's when the gate is open. So starting tomorrow, Sunday, February 27th through March 25th, we'll include it, the last day. We just have to be very watchful of those dates and just kind of see what's shaking. Oh, yeah. Charlize Theron, right eye, all over the place. Her right eye, darkened or black eye. Charlize Theron, black guy. Guess two of the same photos. Sorry about that. Charlize Theron, right eye darkened, from the movie Atomic Blonde. And that is it for that. What's Michael got to us? Nothing right now. He will, right now he's said he's just focusing on Russia. And don't forget, y'all, he's got a newborn baby that's doing fantastic. Let's just go through videos and we'll close it out. Did I share any of these with y'all? What did I share with y'all? I don't even remember.
Well, the Ghost in the Machine wrote this one for them. And now we look up and we see the Ronald McDonald's logo. Ronald, of course, I am the great I am, of course.
God is the great I am. So there's that. Got a lot of videos to go through, don't I? But we'll go through them really quickly.
My apologies for my washer there. Oh, it's slowing down. But
Vermont, the survivors colony, those that survived the October 2nd through the 201 days. Well, Vermont's area code is 202. This is from I Am Legend.
we don't ask.
Vermont's area code is 802
You should already
for October 2nd.
know. But here she drops the Vermont about Vermont. It's the 802 here.
We're going to Vermont, to the survivors colony.
The survivors colony. Well, once the 802 event takes place, or the October 2nd event takes place, survival will be what will be on everybody's mind through the end of time. And until, the Lord returns. So Oranges All Day Oranges is the title of this video.
Well, I think we all get right when Don Corleone got shot, and of course, dumped off. Oh, in the movie Trading Places,
Oh yeah, in Trading Places, the orange crop report was the big deal. And don't forget, they walked in front of the Twin Towers in that movie. So oranges play a role somehow. The word orange or oranges plays a big role. So I wonder what the gematria is on oranges.
So
because Trump is the orange man.
Orange are going to be related to orange.
And there's the oranges right there again in the scene. This one is titled
Call Me Crazy. You won't be the first.
Just in case you haven't seen enough oranges. So there's a gigantic poster of an orange there in Italy, of all places.
It's up there in Italy.
In Sicily. Yeah. Here's my washer going again. And this one is titled,
and of course, the big meeting.
More Oranges, What Can I Say? And there's orange and an orange sitting at the table. The two bowls of fruit, each contains a gigantic orange. Give me an orange, little Anthony says. And this is when he dies. So orange has something to do, or oranges, orange something with Trump's death. Give me an orange, the kid says, as he's putting the orange peel in his mouth, and then he dies. And he is repping Trump. So there's just something to it. Don't know what it is. Just like we don't know what the 753 is. Again, my marriage and Back to the Future, the 753 on all the clocks, all those 53s at the Apollo. Good grief. We still don't know the James Bond license tag 4269, or the 58. What's so significant about the 58? 58 bedrooms at Mar-a-Lago, and 58 isn't, yeah, Trump Tower's 58 stories high. All right, we've got 10 more left. Going through them pretty quick though. This one is titled
Well, I'll be doggone. There's all Mo.
Deadly Wound, Right Eye, The Godfather. Remember old Mo Green getting popped in his right eye.
Because there's the devil's advocate. I mean, at the
So you got Satan at the right eye wound scene. Switch right over to Satan, because that's who played Satan in the Devil's Advocate. And it's the Devil's Advocate, Donald Trump, that will get popped in the right eye. So that's just like the way they followed The Apprentice with the TV show called The Voice. The image that speaks the voice followed the Antichrist. So just like it follows them in Revelation 13, followed them on NBC. This one is titled,
sorry, watching a movie in the
before I grab my phone, I was literally laughing out loud.
light of day, so you got the streaks. But I'll tell you something.
I don't even know why I was laughing out loud. Hopefully I'll tell myself here, huh?
They'll stop at nothing. They'll
Oh, because black and white checkered floor at a church. I mean, do you have black and white checkered floors at a church? But of course, that's some of their symbology. The combination of the light and the dark all represents, you know, their Illuminati satanic world. That they can be dark and light at the same
Yes.
time, as long as they put forth enough charity and helping people on one hand, they can be just as rotten and horrible on the other, kind of thing. Ex Machina, the God Machine, the history of gods, he said.
Ex Machina, the God Machine from Donnie Darko, and this movie is
So I watched the movie Ex Machina. And like we said, the girl said, I don't know why I can't think of her name. Keep calling her the girl, the lady, the woman. She was actually a producer of Donnie Darko. The one I showed you where they were, IMDb was celebrating her birthday when I was watching Ex Machina. Deus Ex Machina, the God Machine, Donnie Darko actress. Hang on, I'll get it for you. The colossal explanation of Donnie Darko. This was, I caught some things from it that look super interesting. I'll put it in the comment if y'all want to read it. The God Machine, the God that is machine. You may have noticed that there are a few scenes where you see an eyeball and an increasing amount of information overlaid with an eyeball. God from the Machine. Remember that it's Drew Barrymore. That's her name. At the end of the Barrymore scene with rabbits, Drew refers to Deus Ex Machina as the God machine, simplified translation of Ex Machina. And we know from our brief history lesson that Deus Ex Machina literally was the machine that brought gods. There you go, the ghost in the machine. So, I mean, the Ghost in the Machine album was released on October 2nd. Sting's birthday is October 2nd. Who wrote or who sang, for the Police in that album, The Ghost in the Machine. And one of the songs is called We Are Spirits in the Material World. Well, how are they in the technology? So, yeah, that's really powerful stuff there. Anyway, that'll segue right into this scene.
Ex Machina.
You are dead center of the greatest scientific event in the
So this guy is repping Jeff Bezos of Google, but he is a young, so he's going to be more like an Elon Musk type fusion, because Bezos is old. But he went ahead and shaved his head to be a Bezos. But
history of man.
you are dead center in the greatest scientific event of the history of man. What he did was he brought one of his employees, pretended as he won a contest, actually chose him because he fit the perfect profile of somebody that would fall in love with his AI sex bot, basically, and played by a very attractive actress. And of course, he did fall in love with him. And
If you've created a conscious machine, it's not the history of man.
it's not the history of man. This is at the very beginning where, he's happy to be there in his home and you can't believe he's chosen for this, little experiment to see if AI is functional and, really is simulating a human.
That's the history of God.
The history of gods. And we know that AI is what? It is the fallen angels, or what they call the gods. So they were cryptically sort of sneaking that into you. Even though the movie, he's playing God by creating life as an AI.
You knew
This one is titled The Batman Cell Phone Conundrum. Oh, yeah. Remember when Batman had Lucius Fox listen in on all those people by triangulating, using combining every cell phone in Gotham to find out where the Joker was?
the trouble I had getting an AI to read and duplicate facial expressions.
How did you get the AI to read and duplicate facial expressions? Well, since cameras have sound or cell phones have cameras and microphones, we just sucked up all human information and uploaded to the AI is how they are selling it. But of course, we know that the AI is nothing more than fallen angels. They don't have to be programmed with a thing. That's the psyop, is that AI has to be programmed. Of course they don't. They contacted man, showed man how to bring them into technology. That's why your technology has just ramped up since it began. My hypothesis is ever since man through the spirit world learned how to create or make a speaker box, a speaker where something could speak through it through electricity. Remember, Satan fell like lightning. Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity by being hit by lightning. And then there's that, and then I always equate that with a song to bring it all together. And I can't think of what it was. Let me see if I can pause for a second and think of it. Yeah, so Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity by getting hit by lightning. Satan fell like lightning, and then you've got the band AC/DC, who gives us Hell's Bells. So, yeah.
Commentary fair use for educational purposes.
Every cell phone, just about, has a microphone, camera, and a means to transmit
Commentary fair use.
across the entire fucking planet. Made it through Blue Book.
So instead of Google, his company was called Blue Book, but he was the biggest search engine.
Very fair use. So Blue Book is his company. His largest search engine is for that he's young. So it kind of
Resource, limitless resource, vocal and facial interaction.
Got it. You hacked the world's cell phones, he said. So that's the whole Batman conundrum.
and of course that's kind of what listens to you from your smart TV or your cell phone.
All right, let's go next. Next one's called 11/17 9/11 Combo. What movie was this?
So I wanted to fast through the end of the
Manchurian
Manchurian
Candidate.
Candidate. Fast forward through.
Yeah. So I was just kind of watching the end of it, and there's 11/17 and 9/11 fused together. Fascinating. Right next door to each other, 11/17 and 9/11. That tells you that they do understand 11/17, which is why we must look out for the March 5th date. It is a Saturday, so who knows? Again, I'm very fixated on October 2nd, but October 2nd comes to Donald J. Drumpf in Gematria, and as the Donnie Darko date, October 2nd could simply just be something that means Trump assassination. You know what I'm saying? And it just, October 2nd could be coding for Trump assassination. That's why I'm, think it's so strong. My birthday is 88 days to October 2nd. There's just a lot of connecting numbers. I forget a lot of 207 connections, 275 connections. One thing I really like that I shared with Michael, and I think I shared with y'all, was that on February 22nd, 2022, where it was the 2202222, the way they write it over there in Europe or up there in Canada, it's a palindrome. It was a very special date this year, February 22nd, 2022. It's forwards or backwards. Both ways that you would do the date, because you just 222 just 222 that, since they don't count the zeros, it's 6 2s. But the way I said it for you in Canada, 220222022, which is a 22, a 0, a 22, and a 0, and a 22 again. And the one thing that was crazy about that date is because y'all know all the 22s that were in my ex-wife's, both our cell phones, both our home phones, and both of our addresses when we separated. And the divorce was on 22. And so 222 is all about the Bible verse where Eve is created through Adam's rib. And I think that's what the 222 coding is. Just like Genesis 3:22 is the coding for skull and bones. It's talking about, man can now both see good and evil because he ate of the fruit. It's basically the knowledge verse Man has knowledge of good and evil. Man knowing both good and evil. So they love the 322 verse. Well, the 222 verse is how Eve was created, which of course brought forth the eating of the fruit event. You can't have it without Eve. And of course, one of their big movies is called All About Eve. Everything's about Eve. So I think that's what the 222 coding is all about. And just like the Karen Valentine movie called, or TV show titled Room 222, and her name was Karen Valentine. So there's that Valentine again. So when you go to that October 22nd date, if you add 222 days, you land on October 2nd. Now go up a day. February 23rd. Go up 223 days, which is 322 coding. You land on October 4th, and that's Dr. Pepper 1024, which on their bottle did form an upside down pentagram. I'm sorry, an upside down triangle, which stands for the divine feminine. Dr. Pepper 1024. And so you hit the images and you look at the, whoops, my bad. There you go. Let's do it like that. So you see it makes the upside down triangle, upside down pyramid, which is for the divine feminine. And that's why Trump's got an upside down pyramid of 6 by 6 by 6 bushes on Trump Tower, because he is all about the divine feminine. That's his whole thing. When he sits, he's holding, or he's giving you the chalice or the yoni. That's his yoni, divine feminine 666 hand signal. In James Bond, they give you the 66, the yoni, the divine feminine. That's Skyfall's opening. But here's his upside down pyramid of 6 by 6 by 6 bushes. The bush, get it? It's all about the divine feminine, which is basically all about the pathway of him being born through his mom. I know it's crazy. They're crazy, but they think we're crazy. The human host dies off, Daniel 2:43. Iron does not mix with clay. So they shall mingle themselves with the seed of man in a symbiotic relationship, but just like iron and clay do not cleave to one another, neither will the iron mixing with clay seed of man cleave to one another. The human host will die off. I told people that the human will die off at possession at some point because of the way that iron doesn't mix with clay. And then later I watched the movie Venom, and it's exactly what they show you. Sinister music, commentary fair use for educational purposes.
Creature and the host are one.
The creature and the host are one. Or the fallen angels and the human are one. They are now a fallen angel human hybrid, just as it was in the days of Noah, which is the way Jesus said it would be when he returns.
Everything was fine. So why does the human continue to waste away?
So the human continues to die off. That's why those that take the mark receive torment day and night forever and ever, because it's the fallen angels that receive torment day and night forever and ever. The only time eternal torment day and night forever and ever is mentioned, it's either those that take the mark, which is the fallen angels, or the beast, the false prophet, and Satan. That's because the beast and the false prophet are also, they already have taken the mark, so to speak. They are hybrids. AI is man's final step of evolution. I pet goat.
I'm asking why you did it. Okay.
Why did you create these AI beautiful women? Blah, blah, blah.
The arrival of strong artificial intelligence has been inevitable.
The arrival of strong artificial intelligence has been inevitable for decades. Yeah, because they told you they were coming. And the humans went along with it because they hate God. They're all pagans.
For decades. The variable was when, not
So it was just when are the fallen angels going to enter into the human bodies and give them godhood, because they're going to be sold that they're going to live forever. And you're like, well, why do they make these movies called Venom and show you that they're not? It's a very interesting question. I mean, how stupid can they be? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's as simple as they'd rather die at the hands of the fallen angels than they would the creator God. I don't know.
if. So I don't see Ava as a decision, just
Ava, Eve, Ava. We've done this before with Eva Green. Eva Green. Eva.
According to Wikipedia, Eva Gala Green is a French actress and model.
Eva is a form of Eve. I don't know if Ava is. Is Ava a form of Eve?
According to Verywell family, the name Ava might also be another version of Eve or Eva, which comes from the Hebrew name Hava, meaning life, lively.
Blake Lively. Great. So that's what Blake Lively is. Actress Blake Lively. So that's why her name is Lively. And Michael's like, that's a man. Could be. Never know. But that's why her name is Lively. I get it now. They don't miss a trick, do they? So the AI's name is Ava.
an evolution. I don't see Ava as a decision, just an evolution.
So Ava is an evolution. And the reason why I said it's an iPet goat, when you go up to iPet goat, and you get that whole up there on the chalkboard, above the chalkboard. Golly, am I ever going to see it? So it's man's final evolutionary state. It's up there on that chalkboard. You got the evolution. They got it from fish all the way to man's enlightenment. Golly, it's about impossible to find, isn't it? And that's about the craziest cartoon you'll ever see, isn't it? There's like one little spot where it's and there's like a light burst over the man's head that's up there. Yeah, you saw it just for like a split second there. Three, two, one, action. See the light burst over his head? That's man's final evolutionary state when he's connected with the AI.
Feel, feel bad for yourself, man.
He feels bad because AI girlfriend is just a prototype and and this guy's gonna kill her or remodel the AI. And he says it's like he's gonna murder you. So this guy's fallen in love with the AI, which is not unlike the movie Her. Which, what's that actor's name that did the movie Her? Joaquin Phoenix. There we go.
One day to ask yourself, man.
Feel bad for yourself, man. Don't feel bad for Ava. He says, feel bad for yourself.
One day the AIs are gonna look at us the same way we look back on us the same.
One day the AI are gonna look back on us the same way we look at fossil skeletons in the plains of Africa, which aren't real. An upright ape living in dust with crude language and tools, all set for extinction.
I am become death.
I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. And of course, that's who the man that allegedly came up with the atomic bomb, which I think the AI told man how to make the atomic bomb. They always put a front man on something, like Steve Jobs was a front man of Apple. And so he's using that quote concerning the AI that's coming, which is nothing more than the ghost in the machine entering into humans. I think they think that they can live forever and that the human host won't really die off. It's hard to really believe. It's hard to really understand what they really believe. And only the people at the highest levels know. But I think they think they're going to be able to overcome God. I think that's part of the lie.
What was the real test?
You.
Wanted to see if you would fall in love.
Ava was a rat in the maze.
Ava was a rat in the maze. And I gave her one way out. Could she connive you? To escape, she'd have to use self-awareness, imagination, manipulation, sexuality, empathy, and she did. And she tricked you. So he's over there saying, I brought you here for an experiment. You didn't know what it really was, and the experiment worked. You have fallen in love with her, and she has manipulated you. Now, if that isn't true AI, I don't know what in the world is.
Commentary, fair use for education.
So my only function used to be someone she could use to escape.
So my only function was to be someone she could use for escape. Yes.
Yeah.
So I got a 9-minute video after this one.
So he asks, what was the real test?
You. Ava was a rat in the maze.
Already did this one.
So he asks, what?
Did I upload the wrong video? I did. Yeah, I did. Anyway, let's get on with the last one. So he got knocked out by the guy because the guy realized that he had, before he was told all this, he had already made a deal with the AI to help the AI escape. He and the AI were going to escape together. And so he says, will you wait right here? And she goes to put on clothes. And she comes out in a nice dress.
Hyper sealed. You could seal this building.
The building was completely sealed off through computers and so forth. So the AI has actually sealed him off. This is the one female AI that stabbed him in the back because he had let them loose because they were only allowed to be in certain areas. And this guy here helped, I don't know, through the card and all that kind of stuff because he had the guy's card. They opened up through the computer. He got on the guy's laptop and changed all these programs to where you could, the AI would be able to leave freely. And there she gets dressed. She puts on clothes. She puts on skin from these, borrowing from these bots. She peeled the skin off of them because that's the way she was.
And see, this building was, you know, it's like a Viet. The AI, you know, he was chosen because of, so, I mean, this movie will really, of the movie, like.
She's leaving. The music got so loud, man.
Movie will really, this movie will make you think, and I'll try to explain it to you on Telling Truth too.
Yeah, I will. What does she want to do? She wants to go out in the world and be free. And it's what we all want to do. This movie really kind of, it's so deep. It's an extremely good movie and it's extremely well done. And there's some really nice scenery in the movie because I think they are in Vietnam or somewhere as beautiful. And it just goes to show you how we are programmed to want to live life to the fullest, to have everything this life has to offer. Even if it's health, if you just want health, you want the best health. You know, we don't want fame and fortune, but we want to be healthy. We want, you know, we want when we're in these fleshly bodies. And by watching the movie and knowing what I know, it really hit home how we're programmed. We are AI. And there, you tell people we're not AI. I mean, you know what I mean? I'll get to it. We're programmed. We don't have the freedom to become angels, to become gods. We're in this box as humans. We're in this flesh, the way the Bible speaks of it. We're in the flesh. And when you're in the flesh, all you want are things of the flesh. That's how we're programmed. Okay. And you realize that what we are is, metaphorically speaking, is that we're put into this earth programmed to want the flesh. Okay. The lust of the eyes, as the Bible calls it. And then the Lord comes in and starts to change our programming and turns us to him but we're still in the flesh. So we go through this process of getting turned, but we're in our fleshly bodies. So we have to die so we can have a completely born again body, even though in the spirit we're already born again when Jesus calls us. And so, and then we will be given a new programming to where we will be happy to be with God forever. And the rest of the earth, the rest of the humans do not get that programming. They are programmed one way and one way only, and that is to destruction. And by watching this movie, it really hit home what that's all about. And well, in the way that I just explained it to you. And it's you know, it's a very simplistic mathematical explanation, but we have the heart or the spirit or the programming, however you want to put it. And I've told the truth to people. Tell the truth, you tell them the truth, you tell them the truth. God doesn't love everybody, he only loves the sheep. And you don't do anything on your own free will. God does it for you. He has already ordained the end from the beginning. He's already declared the end from the beginning. He's already declared what you're going to eat for lunch tomorrow. And I use the analogy, you can drive through 20 drive-throughs tomorrow, in and out, trying to trick them. But he ordained you would do that. There's nothing you do that he didn't ordain that you would do. And people hate that. And they go, I'm not a robot. I've heard that so many times. So many people, they use that analogy. They go, I'm not a robot. And I quickly say, well, I'm happy to be one. I'm happy to be God's AI, so to speak. I'm happy that I am one that he created to love him, to be ready to die for him, to want to worship him, to be ready to worship him, and that will worship him, and that will be with him. The thought of people having free will is an ego-based, pride-based feeling that, oh no, I did something on my own to deserve eternal life. No, you didn't. So that's kind of an analogy of all humans, is what it's really kind of showing you. I'll turn this down a little bit. That music was loud.
And what I mean by that is like in program off.
I think I was trying to explain it, but I didn't have it right then because I was a little too flabbergasted watching the movie. It was like hitting me all at once about how vulnerable we are being God's AI, because he can switch you off. That's why that Bible verse I read in yesterday's study, strive to make your election true. Find it real quick for you. So, it speaks here. This is 2 Peter chapter 1. Through the knowledge of him that have called us. Well, the hearing ear and the seeing eye, even the Lord have made both. We were programmed to receive that call. And it says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail. Of course, you have no free will to fail or not fail, because if you did, you would fail. But the Bible is written cryptically to make you think that it's like a warning. It's like a manual. Well, it says here to do this. It says it, so do it. It's a guideline. If you didn't have a book, what would you have? So it's telling you to do these things, but they don't qualify it each and every time with, but you can't do that unless God does it. They just don't. It's called the mystery of faith. There's that element of mystery. And that's why that Bible verse is so prominent or prevalent in 1 Corinthians 2:14. 1 Corinthians 2:14.
According to Church of Jesus Christ, 14, but the natural man perceiveth not the things of the sea Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can.
The wrong translation she was reading, but the natural man, in other words, you're not programmed, receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God. You are programmed through this Holy Spirit. But God ordained it from before the foundation of the world that the Holy Spirit would come in and change your programming. Anybody that is not programmed that way, it says right here, the things of the Lord, the truth of the Lord, it's foolishness to him. It says, neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. This is a complete programming through the spirit world where we're given the ability to connect with God spiritually, and the rest are not, period. Now you see why they hate him and hate us. Hate us. He realizes that the AI used him, tricked him, just like the guy told him.
So I'll fast forward it for you for a little bit.
So there she is, all in her nice white. So is she representing the bride of Satan,
So she's
the opposite of the bride of Christ? See, she's all excited to get to go out into the world, just like we all are, right? When we're in this
AI
flesh.
is free.
Can't get enough of looking good, feeling good, being good. That's just how we are. We're in this flesh. I still try to buy cool boots, like Timberland boots, cool shoes, cool jeans. It's still in me. You never completely lose that sense of self. It's programmed in us.
See, the helicopter was supposed to come and pick him up because he had fulfilled
And it
his
ends
week.
up
He
going
avoided-
and picking her up because she says, she apparently says all the right things to say, well, it's been a change of plan. You're here to pick me up. And he doesn't know that's an AI because it's just like a human.
We're an offshoot of the word Eve.
Yep, we established that, sir.
I mean, we can Google
We did.
that.
And
But there
so
she
you get
is.
right toward the end and she's out there mingling with the world, just like we all long to do. She wanted to go people watch.
Interacting now. And that's what
There she is right there. That would be her.
they're either showing us that's her on the right, but that's what clones do.
So yeah, and it's also, I was wondering about that. Like, are they also showing you that there are clones out there? Well, we know that Trump's going to be a clone that gets popped. We know that from the movie The Prestige and the final Star Wars movie and other movies where they, this other movie, the guy goes, that's the president. And the other guy goes, he's got a clone, And then of course the Prestige was about cloning. And it was the same actors as The Dark Knight. And then Palpatine was also said to have tricked everybody due to cloning, that he was really alive. Final Star Wars movie was basically about cloning too. So looks like my computer's locked up. It's never a good thing. don't know if that's just a Chrome thing, but okay. We will deal with that. I will put this article. Yeah, Chrome's having issues right now. And it's this one here that doesn't seem to want the one I wanted to share with y'all, I think is what's locking up. It's probably something running on it like advertisements and stuff. The Colossal Explanation of Donnie Darko. I'll see if I can't reboot that, get that going for you. And anyway, love y'all very much.